And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. A couple of 2-1 teams set to square off, and we're underway here in NFL Week 4. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. Anthony. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. The Vikings at 2-1 now to start the campaign. And they move back above 500 with a victory last week.
And you look at their start, a win, a loss, then a win. This might be something we see from them a lot this year because when they're at their best, they can play with anybody. But bringing their best every week, that's been a challenge thus far.
11 more on that one and another first down. So back-to-back big runs picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They got 29 yards that time.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. Now they'll run on the draw. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, 2nd and goal.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Throwing is McCarthy. That's caught at the 3. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that will lead to a 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
The San Francisco defense trying to hold tough again. This is 3rd and goal. Motion man is Schwartz. 3rd and goal, McCarthy. He's got it. A great job to hold him to just a yard there. Now it's 4th and goal.
Great job here by this defense. They try to bring the receiver from one side of the field to the other, hoping he'll get lost in the wash. But a really nice job there to make a quick tackle and force 4th and goal.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. He tried to keep it himself, but can't stretch his way in. And on the opening drive of the ball game, the defense comes up with a goal line stand. Back to throw now in his own end zone. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
There's a lot about that play you can easily see coming. Backed up in the shadow of their own goal line, you know they're going to face pressure.
He's lucky his arm was going forward. It was close, but it was going forward.
Yeah, it could have been a safety or even giving up a defensive touchdown.
Second and 10. They'll throw again from their own end zone. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over it that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
Got to be careful here, backed up this deep on 3rd down. And this is too far behind his man. He missed him. It's incomplete.
That's the first third. The game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Here comes the 49ers punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
Here's McCarthy. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. You look at this Niner defense. They're a tough unit to throw against. Currently 4th toughest in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
Working out of the gun is McCarthy. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
And I think this is a situation where a quarterback coach on the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and pump the football.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here. 1st and 10. Less than a minute to go here in a scoreless first quarter to this point. Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And the big boys up front. They're going to stop it right at the line. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
This defense for the Vikings very strong in that victory a week ago.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2. No score after 1 on EA Sports. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Purdy from the gun on 3rd down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Touchdown. Brandon Ayuk. His first touchdown on the year. And the 49ers post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this second quarter. Moody good with the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's going to be touchdown, but he's got the first down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. Anthony. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. On play action. Now McCarthy. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
And this is going to be intercepted.
pushing his way through. And the 49ers are going to have it here just past the 25. Well, they tried to take their shot right there, but the ball hung up a little too long, and it's intercepted.
And when you describe trying to take their shot right there, usually the ball has to be thrown on a little bit more of a line. You just mentioned it. The ball hung up there. The reaction time of the defenders, they win the day and intercept it.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Purdy. He's going to let one fly for Tate. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Jeremy Chin picks it off. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. So that one a disaster, a big loss there with 2nd down coming up. Well, let's call that a less than ideal play on 1st down.
No doubt about that one, because that was a situation of just digging a deeper and deeper hole for himself, and it ended up a big-time loss.
Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19. There go play action. Here's McCarthy. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. McCarthy off the play fake. Out to his left. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there on 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Throwing here, Purdy. Open man, the former Gator. It's Ricky Pearsall. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. He's got this complete to Ayuk on the out route. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 11 yards for number 11.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a entire breakdown on what the coverage was. Everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
Out of the gun, Purdy. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Purdy. He'll get this underneath to McCaffrey.
So the completion good for 7 there. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Well, they'll use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Purdy now to throw. That's caught. It's McCaffrey again. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33.
Well, don't tell any defensive coordinator I played for, but that might be considered a win for both teams because defensively they stopped them short and forced the 4th down. But offensively, they picked up enough yards to give their kicker a better shot if that's what they want to do.
So they'll say no to the 50-yard field goal try. Instead, the offense out there, they're going for it. The motion man is Tate.
Purdy on 4th down. He's got his running back out of the backfield.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Purdy looking to throw. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there.
Down the numbers. There he goes. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, it turns out it's not their offense who gets him on the board first, CD. It's the defense coming through right there with a pick 6.
And I know from experience throughout the week when you go against the offense, you're challenging them all the time. You're letting them know, hey, don't worry about scoring this week. We'll take care of it. We'll get a few pick 6s and score ourselves. You're just kidding? But how about what he just did right there? Laid it out for the rest of the game. We score. Hey, offense, can you keep up with us?
Extra point right down the middle. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 43.
Back to throw, Purdy.
Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 23 yards on the play. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will do it for this first half. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. A good, tight football game thus far. 10-7 the score as we resume action on EA Sports. Well, certainly not what they wanted out of the locker room. They'll start defensively at the 40-yard line. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. Down to the 42, second down.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety, being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. Second and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Second down and 6 now. Ayuk going to go in motion right. And now a fake on the jet sweep, and instead they'll give it to McCaffrey. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be third down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. Now Purdy. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Brought down in the play by the linebacker, Christian Harris.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's Purdy. This will be caught at about the 5. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Niners take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Moody good with the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Here is Wishnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors. I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the third quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
Well, a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hopefully they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now McCarthy. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Nick Bosa coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
On 2nd and very short, Purdy. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. McCaffrey running up the middle.
And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line.
Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. He's dropped just inside the 20. A little second effort there, but couldn't find a whole lot of space.
So they'll accept that penalty, and that'll, of course, move the football up the field.
One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's 49er football here. They've got the lead as well as we get set to start the 4th and final quarter. Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence and playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
A quick throw completed by Purdy. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the 49ers are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Moody good with the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if...
And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big play there for Minnesota. 44 yards.
To get back in this ball game, big plays are going to be necessary. And here's one right on cue. Coming up with 3 scores here in the 4th is not going to be an easy task. But that's good work there to bite off a chunk of yards.
To the air with McCarthy.
Escaping the pressure right. And I think the ball's out. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well. Thankfully for the offense, a fortuitous bounce there on the fumble goes out of bounds because they're down here in the red zone. You don't want to lose one there.
You don't want to lose one, and the best part, because it went out of bounds, they retain possession, still have an opportunity to put points on the board.
Looking to throw McCarthy. Out route to Jefferson, and he's got it.
And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Throwing is McCarthy.
Dancing to his left.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Niners are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
He got outside the pocket there trying to improvise, and he was calling for the ball downfield, but still the interception.
I think what happened, he did call for the ball thinking that he was open, but I think the quarterback spotted him too late. And that margin that he had on the defenders, that got eaten up, and they came up with the interception.
They'll try and burn some clock now with McCaffrey. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. Good gain there on 1st down, and keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him. He ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
Not in any rush offensively.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
And that pretty much has been the storyline, Charles. This defense, they seem to be one step ahead from the start of the game until now.
And you identified it perfectly, and we can see the frustration that's settling in now. And it's probably been there for a long time, but now it's evident because you can see it in their faces, you can see it in their body language, maybe even a little bit in that play call that ended up maybe closing them out. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from...
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Calais Campbell finding his way home for the sack. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Looking to throw. Purdy.
Ayuk bringing it in on the crossing route here.
Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway from the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Now it looks like he'll throw here.
He'll get this out right here to McCaffrey.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted.
And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. Well, this has been a bit of a tough game to figure out when it comes to him throwing the football. He's got the 3 touchdown passes, but now, Charles, this is a 3rd interception.
And those aren't really numbers that you'd like to see balance out. In a normal ledger sheet, if you can balance everything, you feel good about your day. But as a quarterback, you need your ratio to be more like 3 touchdown passes to 1 interception.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
First and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Here's McCarthy. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
To the air again, McCarthy.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. A couple of first downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10.
From the shotgun, McCarthy.
Now he steps away. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
McCarthy going to throw again.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
And the 49ers are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. So the victory here for San Francisco, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for San Francisco, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll get another road date next week. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ay, wake up, shot calling. Pay what I bought it. New crib, psychotic. I'm so iconic. Fly down to see the islands. She ain't even bring a wallet. They don't get it, but I got it. I'm so iconic. Yeah, straight out the Lennox. That on for hours. I'm straight out the minutes. They calling up Dion and straight out the business. We take out the Sims and then take out percentage. Period, break out the minutes from capital M. Now we straight out the sentence. They pay out, they pay out, they pay out. I'm finished. Then grade out the Lakers. The Bay watch the women. I got go meet your maker. Lord, please don't save them. Minor bumps as I've been paving the road. I go to sleep, go major. Silver too, but I've been playing for gold. The metal keep close range. I cleaned up, still dangerous. Can't change West Philly raised. Wake up, shot calling. Pay what I bought it. New crib, psychotic. I'm so iconic. Fly down to see the islands. She ain't even bring a wallet. They don't get it, but I got it. I'm so iconic. Got your stacks up, but you ain't got no rings, yeah. Got my stats up, I'm living out my dreams, yeah. Stretch this condo, I can fit a limousine, yeah. Ain't that ironic? I'm so iconic. This be my tunnel music. They cut that confetti, I'm running through it. They clear that whole lane, I'm running through it. And if they run at me, let my youngins do it. I just married, I'm honeymooning. I got hot on my own and ain't nothing coolin'. I don't punch in no clock, I sun and moving. I'm shot, bullet, proven, let it go. Wake up, shot calling. Pay what I bought it. New crib, psychotic. I'm so iconic. Fly down to see the islands. She ain't even bring a wallet. They don't get it, but I got it. I'm so iconic. Got your stacks up, but you ain't got no rings, yeah. Got my stacks up, I'm living out my dreams, yeah. Stretch this condo, I can fit a limousine, yeah. Ain't that ironic? I'm so iconic. I'm so iconic. Yeah, I'm so iconic. Yeah, they don't get it, but I got it. Ain't that ironic? I'm so